So let's now start doing the revisions. Okay, we're going to revise our file. Okay, so that all these things over here get done. All these things get done. And when you get each one done, I'm going to kind of like note it on here if I can remember to do so. Okay, I'm going to bring that down out of the way. So here we are. The first thing is to change this to change the name of the layout to company standard floor plan. Right click, rename, company standard floor plan. Okay, so I've got the first thing done. Now I need to do my architectural inches. That's in the model. Type units and change decimal to architectural and change feet to inches. As I said before, we have a little bit of a problem here. Okay, in that this says that it's actually only 3 feet now. DIST gives you the distance command. And that now says 3 feet. So it's too small. And even though this says 36 feet, that's just my dim style kind of messing things up. So I'm going to have to fix that. I'm going to have to scale it. SCALE, scale everything. Right here. And I know that there are 12 inches in every foot. So my scale factor is 12. Double click my mouse wheel and here I am. And of course, everything's looking like, oh, wow. That's everything looks off now. But that was my architectural inches. So I've got that fixed. What did I have to do? I had to change my units. Architectural inches, and I needed to scale it. Okay. So now I need to get these dimensions into Paperspace. Let's see what Paperspace. Oh, looks terrible now. Let me rescale this. I bet you it's 1 to 48 because 4 times 12 is 48. 1/4 inch equals a foot. There it is. So that's the next thing is I want to get into the model on my layout and rescale it. And my scale is 1/4 inch equals a foot. Then there's a very cool command that will bring the dimensions into Paperspace. It's called change space. CHS. Oh, I'm in the middle of a command. CHS brings up change space. And it says what objects. And I'm just going to have to highlight all the dimensions. And those are now in Paperspace. So I've got another thing done. Let me come down and knock it off my list. Dims in Paperspace. The next thing is all of those dims are currently on the text layer. So now they need to go on the dimension layer. So I can just, and there's lots of ways to do this. I can do it up here. I can go back to the home. And another way I can do it is through the properties, and I can change the layer there. I don't care which way you use. They all work. They're all fine. However you get to do that, either through the dimension bar on Annotate or through the properties or through the layer control. Any of those ways work. Okay, I'm slowly getting these all knocked off. Now, I need this to be architectural, 0 feet, 1/4 inch, CBP. Well, let me get started at least. Architectural. So let's see what I've got. Right down here, this little tiny arrow brings up my dimension styles. I've got some architectural ones. Let me try this architectural scale factor 48. I'm gonna see what that looks like. What happens if I use that? Let's try one of these. Ooh, that's way. Oh, that was a 96. No, that's way too big. So let me try architectural scale factor 1. Oh, look. If I change it to architectural scale factor 1, that's just about right. Okay. My number is off. Everything else is because I'm bringing these in from another one. So let me do that first. Let me start with that one and see what I can do. So if I start with architectural scale factor 1 and I make a new one that says it's City Blueprint. Let's see what I can do. My fit, scale factor 1, but that should now be probably 12. No, my fit is fine, and my units here, measurement scale, probably going to be 48. Let's see if that goes on it now. 24 feet, and that's exactly right. So now I can put those on, and what's happened there is that these were already associated to the smaller one, and so now we have to do that 48 to make the scale factor show up. Okay, otherwise we'd have to do a lot of work in reassociating and things like that. So I just changed my measurement scale factor. Now I can put these all on it. All of these go on that. So this is a bunch of stuff to do. But it's just, and there's nothing wrong with the way the drawing was. It just doesn't meet our standard. So those all now go on scale factor 1 CBP. Those are now all the correct dimensions. Problem is, those are not country city blueprint. So that's the last thing I need to be able to do is come to my text and create a new text style. I don't have one. So that means I needed to make a new one called City Blueprint. And if I type city into the font name, there it is. And all the rest of this stays okay. So to change these, I just need to fix that one thing, modify it so that my text is not standard. It's City Blueprint. There we go. I've got all of the dimensions now correct. And look, this is clean, which is nice. Now I know, and I'm just going to double check my dimension. Yep, it's 36 feet. Now I have a clean drawing to use as my model, and I can do whatever I want in my layouts. There we go. Woo! That was some work. So let me come down and check it off of my list, down on my list of things to do. So the next thing is sheet X of, oh, so it's these things. Now there's two ways. This is an attributed block. I can double click it and pick them off one by one, or I can use a command ATT edit, attribute edit, and pick the attribute, and now I can do it all from up here. So my month, day, year becomes 2023. You put your name in there for Drawn By. Drawing title is still floor plan, but now this is the company standard floor plan. It is 1/4 inch equals a foot, and this is 1 of 1. We do not need to change the revision. We haven't changed the design at all. We have changed the representation of the design, and that's it. Okay. Oh, but now look at this. That looks horrible. So I have to fix that. Now I am going to double click on it and go to my text options and make my width factor a little bit smaller. There, now it fits. And if there's any others that look like I should do that, I can. I think I already did it on my floor plan one. Everything else is looking pretty good. So let's check it out and see what I've done. So I just finished the X of Y, month, day, year, title. I've got them all done, and I changed that. Woo! Got it. So it's some work. You get used to doing that work. You get good at doing that work. All of that in industry would probably take 5 to 10 minutes once you become the expert at doing that. All we want you to do in this class is have seen it and have done it and remember that it's needed. Okay? This just happens all the time. You don't get mad at anybody or anything like that. The other company was using their own standard that makes sense to them, and we're using a standard that for us makes sense to us. There we go. That is how to change standards.